This is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio. PHLV Radio.
Hello, America, and hello, world. Good morning, Pilipinas. Welcome to our The Teacher Voice. This is an hour show that aims to give teachers the opportunity to talk on air about their unforgettable journey, thrilling adventures, and share their splendid wisdom to our listeners and viewers. I am Teacher Judy, your host, and my co-hosts are Tita Josie Harrison of Las Vegas
Hello, everyone.
and Teacher Pasita Ross of New York City.
Hello, good evening to all.
This show airs by the Philippine Las Vegas radio station, PHLV, located in the heart of Las Vegas. And this is every Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific Time and 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And in the Philippines, it's Sunday, 10 in the morning. Wow, mga barkadas, we are here again. And it's time for us to enjoy our night. And we're going to greet our friends. Maybe you have somebody to greet, guys. Tita Josie and Tita Pasit.
Yes, my friends in Vegas, I have mentioned to them that we do have this show, and it is something that we need to share to all teachers because this is a platform for all teachers all around the world. Thank you.
Nice. How about Tita Pasit?
Oh, everything that Josie had said, I second. And of course, I want to greet my friends, teachers, and non-teachers, and a very good morning or good evening.
Okay. And also, guys, I want to greet my fellow teachers here in America and back home, especially there in Negros Occidental, Bacolod City. I used to be one of the teachers in there as values education teachers. So, ang mga taga values education dira sa Negros, dyan, oh, you see, nabisaya na ako. Dyan sa, dira sana, sabi ko dira. Okay, dyan sa Bacolod City, Negros Occidental High School, the biggest school in Negros Occidental. So, good morning dira sa inyo. Dito sa amin is evening ngayon. Alright, so tonight we are going to introduce our guest, very special guest. Tita Pasit?
Sure. Okay. Our guest for tonight is probably the very first in her area of expertise. And we're very excited to hear her story. But before that, let me tell you a little bit about her. Our guest tonight earned a Bachelor of Arts, major in communication degree from Maryknoll College, which is now Miriam College, and an MA in communication management at the Asian Institute of Journalism in the Philippines. She got a scholarship from the National Economic Development Authority, or NEDA, and Australian AID, and took postgraduate studies in environmental policy and development at Macquarie University in Sydney, Australia. This lady has over 30 years experience in teaching, training, and developing curriculum in the field of communication arts, management, curriculum development, and teacher training in English as a second language, or ESL. She has written books in communication and has co-edited, I'm sorry, this one is messed up.
She has reviewed advanced ESL writing book. Are you in that?
Yeah, that part,
okay.
Which I don't have here. Yeah, I have the last paragraph now. Sorry, Johan.
Oh,
Yeah,
he can
that's correct. Yeah,
edit
could you
that.
please read that part, the second paragraph, Judy? Begin
Okay.
from there. I don't know why I don't have it.
All right. She has reviewed advanced ESL writing books published by Hanley and Hanley. Also, she has contributed to the writing of the book Tips in ESL Teaching, written and published in 2019. She is certified as a Cambridge testing administrator and speaking examiner of Cambridge ESOL, University of Cambridge, and a TOEFL IBT test center administrator from Educational Testing Services. She has been the accreditation coordinator for Zoni Language Centers, 8 campuses with ACCET from 2011 to 2018, and the CEAs, which is from 2018 to 2019 accreditation process.
That would matter here.
Okay, she was awarded the Leadership in Educational Administration and Distinguished Service Award on May 24, 2019, from the Association of Filipino American Teachers of America for her contribution to education in the USA. Furthermore, she received the Executive of the Year, the highest award given by Zoni Language Centers in December of 2019. Currently, she continues to pursue researching and writing ESL textbooks. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest for tonight, Ms. Evina Baquiran Torres. Good evening, ma'am.
Wow.
Good evening.
This is a very special guest to us. We are going to listen to her story, her journey, who started from being a teacher. And now, my manang Evina is a trainer, a curriculum developer in the field of communication arts, and even in management. And he has written a book. So he's a book writer. And actually, the Evina is currently the administrator of a well-known ESL school here in New York, Zoni. And haha, she was my previous supervisor and
Oh,
my Manang Evina Baquiran Torres. Good evening. Good evening,
Hello.
Manang.
Good evening. Thank you very much for that very generous introduction. And good morning, world.
Good morning,
Morning,
world.
world.
This
Okay.
is all over the world. You are right. Okay.
So, good morning, world. Good evening, whichever time.
Yes. And in the Philippines, this will be aired uh uh Saturday, and that would be morning of Sunday in the Philippines.
Okay.
Okay. So, we are very interested to learn, to hear your story, your journey from being a teacher, and now you are here, one of the best administrators here in New York sa isang school. I think, Tita Pasit, do you have a
yeah, I have a
question?
question. Okay, Zoni. I've heard of this call a few years back because I met a teacher from there. I am so sorry I forgot her name because we hadn't communicated in a long while. However, please tell us and your audience about the school, Zoni Language Center.
Okay. Zoni Language Centers, there are 8 campuses in the New York metropolitan area. And of course, that includes New Jersey. So, we cater to uh, people all over the world
Mhm.
whose first language isn't English. Okay, so they study English as their second language to be able to pursue their dreams of being able to integrate into the American community or to the world because it's our global language. So we have students from over 100
Countries.
countries.
Yeah.
Over. So we believe in the beauty of diversity. So even when people come from Timbuktu or the far-flung areas of Africa, we
Mhm.
have those students. And even in the what do you call this? In Europe, we have a lot of students, but we also have a big following from the Hispanic community
Yeah, of course.
as well as Asian community. Um, we used to run a school in London as well. It's a college, and then ESL was part of our program.
Mhm.
And we used to have schools in Canada as well. But now we as years passed by and immigration was a big issue then in the United Kingdom and in Canada, even now, but thank God, I think the immigration is becoming more to our favor, yeah, because of the new administration. So we have how many schools? We have one, two, three, four schools in New York, and that includes Queens, Jackson Heights, Flushing in Queens, Brooklyn, and the main campus is in Manhattan. Then we have uh, four schools in New Jersey, and that includes Newark, Elizabeth, Passaic, and West New York. So we teach English only to
Mhm.
uh, immigrants, to visitors from other countries because we have short-term programs also. And so
Mhm.
that's our clientele. And we teach from beginner to advanced academic English courses, as well as preparation courses for uh, people wanting to pursue their university education.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Mhm.
we have
Uh-huh.
preparation courses like TOEFL, Cambridge, IELTS, and so that is the big program that we have.
we
All right.
believe we believe your clients actually are already professionals in their own right before they come or
Yes,
came to the United States, but
yes,
because of their deficiency in language in
yes,
English, then that's when they go to your
yes,
school.
yes. Majority of our students have graduated already. Majority of them, so they have graduated in their home countries
Mhm.
because we cater to adults, more
Right.
of adults. Yeah,
Yeah.
we also have like pre-adults like uh, 16. We cater to 16 years old and above.
And older.
Could be 85, it could be 75-year old. So
Yeah.
that's where our the age group of our students.
Now,
Okay.
how will I call it? If it is from all the teachers now, is this something that is supported by the government? You are
No,
funded,
no,
or do you just whatever? I
no.
want to know the
It is a
source.
private business. It is a
Right.
Private business.
it's a
Okay.
private business.
So when you say private, is that open? Is it a stock that is open to people to buy stocks on that? And
No,
I don't know the source.
no, no, no,
I
no.
really don't know.
No, we have a sole ownership, a Colombian American in the person of Mr. Zoilo Nieto. So
Oh,
yes, yes.
Zoni Boilo Nieto. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's a private business. It's
Right.
not
You
open.
see, I'm just curious, okay? Is
Yeah.
that guy American or a
No,
foreigner?
Colombian.
Colombian American,
Colombian
Colombian
American.
from
Okay.
Colombia.
Okay.
All right then.
Right.
Um, Ma'am Evina, after you, as what I read in your bio here, you went to Australia. Is that
Right.
correct? Right, to
Correct.
study. And after you studied there, were you able to go back to the Philippines and teach?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
I
can you tell
actually
us about
my
that journey of yours?
right.
Okay.
My teaching profession started, way back in the 80s, and as a college professor. I started with the Ateneo University, and then also adjunct professor at PWU, and then consultant in the Maryknoll School in Quezon. So I started as a teacher teaching subjects in communication arts, and that is communication arts, not English, but media arts. So, and the adjuncts of media. I started that way until Mary Knoll called me to go back and serve my alma mater because I graduated from Mary Knoll.
Wow.
So I started with Mary Knoll as the department chair of the communication arts department, but at the same time teach some courses. That kind of experience that I had in Merino trained me to be a good administrator and a good teacher as well. Because even
Mm.
if I were an administrator, they allowed us to teach one or two courses to get in touch with reality
Correct. Yeah.
regarding students' needs,
Mm-hmm.
so that we are able to develop our program, because the program is always based, any curriculum for that matter is always based on students' needs, not teachers' needs.
Yeah. Of course, when you are in the
Okay.
Yes,
classroom.
right. Yeah.
But I
So
have another question in here. When you studied to there in Australia, that was postgraduate studies, right?
yeah, you call that postgraduate because I already earned an MA in communication management. And since I was a strong advocate of environmentalism, I was awarded a scholarship from
NEDA.
the National Academic
Okay.
Development
And then
Authority.
they let you, they sponsor your schooling there in Austria
Yes,
for
Nelly.
environmental policy and
Yes,
development.
yes, yes.
Okay. But because you are a graduate of
Marian.
journalism or communication, so that is why I'm surprised that communication and then environmental policy, how
Yeah,
does it yes, so
yeah.
how did you integrate this
No,
in
because
your
I was, as I said, my advocacy involvement was in environmentalism. Maryknoll College was a pioneer in environmentalism. So that was my advocacy, and because I also wrote modules on environmental education, so they gave me that scholarship to pursue my knowledge in environmentalism. But
okay.
that was way back when I was still in the Philippines.
Yeah.
So I was an administrator and a teacher, a media educator, and all of these things for 14 years before I even came to the United States, or even I migrated to the United States.
Mm.
What is the extent of your program? I mean, you say you're trying to teach them the second language in English. I mean, after they
That is in
graduate,
the United States. That was
right? But what is the extent? Do you have a program whereby that you can recommend them to such position, maybe in a big company, or maybe in the human resources? I mean, what is the extent, or is it just pure education?
Oh, tita
the
Manang
ESL
Evina,
education in the United States.
yeah, Manang Evina, what she is trying to say is that after the students graduate, you see,
Right.
after
What?
right after the students graduate in at
Soon.
Zoni, what
Um,
some programs do you have for them?
No, no, no. We have a pathway program. That pathway program allows them to be accepted and qualified to pursue their university studies, because most of them pursue their college education in the United States. Or because we have also English academic programs which are very similar to college courses in English, especially. We have elective courses such as business English. We have elective courses such as preparation for college education. So all the programs, not only English, but other elective courses and specific skills program that we provide in addition to the program from beginner to advanced, prepare the students to be more adaptable to the university or to the American education for that matter. And not only that, because we give a lot, we have review and preparation courses for them to be admitted to the American university as well as European universities. So we are privy in ensuring that they're able to be accepted to American universities as well as universities in the United Kingdom.
So it's mainly furthering their education, their knowledge of using English language. I mean,
Right.
that's where your program stop. You don't really
Right.
say, okay, we'll recommend you to them, or they can get some recommendation from us, or what have you.
Yeah.
None of that.
We do. We also do provide recommendation because in the United Kingdom, for example, they want to work in the United Kingdom. They have to have a Cambridge proficiency exam to be able to be not only admitted to the university in the United Kingdom, but to be able to work. They have to have a certain proficiency level of English to be able to migrate, to be able to work as well.
In the
In the
United
same-
Kingdom.
in the United Kingdom.
Oh, yeah.
In the United States, they also have to have a TOEFL, and now they are accepting the Cambridge, the European Union English proficiency to be accepted to the university as well. So we ensure that our students are really prepared to pursue higher education.
So you're saying, Evina, that the TOEFL is mostly for the Americans
For
and
American,
Cambridge is
for
for
American education.
specifically for United Kingdom. How are these two programs different, if there are any?
Actually, they are both uh, English exam requirement. They're both, but there is, of course, they're being tested for the same English skills like reading, writing, listening, and speaking.
Yeah.
They're the same.
Mhm.
But content-wise, because the Cambridge is more geared in British English, I think that's the only difference. But it's not a big difference actually in
So,
terms because they have to do some writing exam,
yeah.
listening exam, speaking exam, grammar and reading exam. So it's just the type of exam needed in a different country.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was thinking because you said Cambridge for those who want to go to
United Kingdom, to the
in the
United
United
Kingdom.
Kingdom. I was thinking if the program learning English is about the same, is it the is this funny? Is it the diction there?
No.
Okay.
No.
It's
There's
just
no,
the
no, no,
specific
no.
test that they must pass in order to be able to be accepted in the UK.
The
Okay.
only difference is that in terms of format, the TOEFL is it's an integrated skill format. So they call
The
that
4 skills, right?
integrated. They call that IBT. It's an integrated base type of format.
Okay.
In the Cambridge exam, it even tests your grammar knowledge. In the TOEFL, the grammar is integrated in the speaking and writing. But in the Cambridge, there's a separate test. They call that test of grammar. Yeah, test of English, which is grammar. So
I
All
understand.
right. So I have a question.
uh-huh.
When even the Philippines, okay, Filipinos, they take this TOEFL before they
Right.
go to different countries
And
because
yeah.
it's a requirement now. My question is, what if a student in here, this is a very good information to everyone, even to the Filipinos, all right? If you are here,
Uh-huh.
to the Filipinos, if they are here, they know how to speak English already, right? But does America require them to take TOEFL in order to uh, be enrolled in the universities and colleges?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, that is
Right,
a
to see Tita,
requirement.
yes.
Yeah. But there are also some colleges that have their own admission exams, not necessarily TOEFL.
Correct.
They have
Okay.
their own admissions exam. But majority of American universities require a TOEFL score.
Yes.
Now they're open uh, to requiring them. If it's not TOEFL, then it could be the Cambridge, it could be the IELTS, IELTS.
IELTS.
Yes, IELTS.
Okay.
That's International English Language Testing System.
Correct.
So they are already, they recognize a lot of colleges, actually, universities, reputable universities like Columbia University, they accept the IELTS
IELTS.
exam. Yeah. But there is a certain score that they have to,
To acquire.
yeah, to meet
Uh-uh.
so that they'll be accepted. It's not
But
just
what I know,
passive.
Ma'am Evina, what I know is TOEFL is for America.
Yeah, it's more popular in the United States.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And so
this
I
is
have a
very-
question. I
Wow,
have a
this is a
question
very good
today.
information. Yes, Tita Josie?
My
Sorry.
question is on the test, is it all written test or is there
An
an
oral.
actual test? Do they speak the language?
Yes,
Mm-mm.
yes. There
Oh,
is
okay.
a writing test, there's a speaking test, there's a
Speaking test.
listening test. Yeah.
I see.
So they
I
have
see.
to listen and then they have to. But because TOEFL is not a separate test for separate skill, they call that integrated base. Yeah.
I see.
So
Yes.
for example, they will be giving you a reading text. Yeah, for the reading, for example. Then they give you comprehension questions, but they ask you also to write an essay of your opinion of that reading test.
I see.
Or for example, they give you a listening test, but they will ask you to write as
Right.
well. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's just listening for comprehension, but they have to incorporate a writing skill test as
Yes.
well as grammar.
Mhm.
The speaking is they give you a lot. They'll give you um, speaking questions, okay, that you will have to ask, and there's an oral rubrics that is being used to test your speaking proficiency, and that speaking proficiency they have to test your accurate grammar usage, your extent of your vocabulary knowledge, your pronunciation, your coherence of ideas. So everything is incorporated.
Okay. When we are there in the Philippines, right? You are professional. You are nurses, therapists, in the medical field or whatever. We require these professionals to take
TOEFL.
IELTS.
IELTS.
Correct. It's not TOEFL actually because it's not for America. Now,
Okay.
this is a big business in the Philippines, that TOEFL, because there are so many learning centers in there for this TOEFL, IELTS and TOEFL. Now, when they go to different countries like nurses, they cannot enter to that country without IELTS.
IELTS.
Correct, Manang? Okay.
Yes.
But the question in here is why is it that UK why is it that they have a separate IELTS, like real UK IELTS? What is that?
Yeah. No, IELTS for the United Kingdom. There's no such thing as American IELTS or United Kingdom IELTS. IELTS originated from the United Kingdom under the umbrella of Cambridge English.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah,
Okay, now I
yeah.
understand.
IELTS did not originate in America.
I see.
It's under the Cambridge English Assessment Program.
Okay.
In fact, there's also another thing which we administer. Have you heard about OET,
Uh-uh.
Occupational English Test? Yeah,
Yes.
for doctors who want to migrate to the United Kingdom, Australia, um, New Zealand, Singapore, the United Arab countries, yeah, uh, or they need to have an occupational English test. And that occupational English test is a test of their English knowledge as well. To for them to practice and
In the
practice and
workforce.
to do
That's why it calls
their
occupation.
residency, yeah, to do their residency,
Occupational.
they need that.
Okay.
It's an
Wow.
immigration requirement.
Oh.
I have a question.
Sure.
As a teacher of ESL, okay, let's make it simple. ESL, English Second Language teacher. What qualifications would you require this teacher in order for them to be
Teach ESL.
Zoni?
Oh, they have to have a TESOL certification.
Mm-hmm.
They have to have a BA. I mean, as far as
Zoni.
I know, Zoni and all the other language schools, I don't know how they fare with us, but uh, the New York State Education Department
Mm-hmm.
requires a TESOL certification or a year of ESL teaching experience or a bachelor's degree. With us, we require a bachelor's degree and a TESOL or TEFL. TEFL is teaching English as a foreign language. Okay, it's really similar. TESOL, TEFL, they have to have a certification or a year of teaching ESL to adults in the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
Adult teaching.
Adult teaching. Now, it's not, we don't accept volunteer teaching or one-on-one teaching. So
Like
we want
tutorial teaching.
experience in
Okay.
the classroom because it's different when you are in the classroom than having a private class or one-on-one.
Tutoring.
Mhm. Wow.
Excuse me, I have
TOEFL is very hard, Manang. Very, very hard. I took it.
Which one?
Even though I passed, but it's very hard. I don't know why it's very hard.
which one?
On TOEFL.
Oh, TOEFL.
It's very hard. So, Tita Pasit, do you have some more questions?
Okay, I have a question. I know in my early days in the US, I learned that there are a good number of Filipinos who are teachers of ESL in here, especially in New York City. Okay, just New York City. Is that still a fact these days?
Yeah. We have how many? 1, 2, 3. We have around across campuses. We have five teachers across campuses. We had a lot in the 80s, yeah?
Korea. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and in the 90s we had a lot. But
That's true.
since I think they entered the public school system.
That's correct. Yeah. Uh-huh.
But we had a lot in
Uh-huh.
Those different tests that you are all mentioning, is that something that is standard that the teachers has to take, or is it something that you have to concur with a country that they would like to teach? Like maybe they want to go to China. I'm just bringing that up now. I mean, not China, maybe Thailand or Indonesia. Are those tests just your school requirements, or do you have any information from other countries or state that tells you what is required to take?
Yeah, I know in other countries, TESOL is having a certificate in TESOL is the number one criteria for anyone who's going to teach ESL in other countries.
Countries.
Now, give me again what's TESOL. What is involved in
Teaching
TESOL
English
examination?
as a second language learners. So,
Okay.
because in TESOL, you learn the theoretical component, like theories involving uh, education, that's geared to ESL. But you also have a practical component where you have to study appropriate methods, strategies, approaches in teaching ESL. Then you are trained to do also lesson planning. Then you are trained to apply whatever theoretical foundation that you have learned in the actual classroom.
I see.
So, aside, of course, from the practical aspect of student teaching and teaching observations, teachers' observations, because the teachers should be exposed to those. They have to be able to do some practice teaching and at the same time observe classes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry,
Bless you.
I have an
Okay.
allergy.
She has allergy as well. Okay, I have another question. This is very interesting. I know there are some Filipinos who are also studying in language centers here in New York or in other states. They know how to speak English already.
Yeah.
But what are the reasons why they have to study?
To enroll in a.
You mean they have to study TESOL, a certificate in TESOL?
Uh,
To take the English.
No, madam.
English again?
English
Yes.
again.
Right.
Why there are some Filipinos that teach not teach why there are some Filipinos enrolled in ESL?
Really?
Mhm.
Well, I don't know. If I were to advise them, don't get another degree in ESL. Take the certification course that is sufficient for you to teach.
No, manang, it is not really for them to teach. It's really they are required they are required to take ESL or enroll ESL. For what reason?
To be able to teach, huh? That's a
No,
requirement.
okay.
I think what Judilyn is
Not
saying.
to be able to teach, right? But to, I don't know. I'll tell you something. We have a few Filipinos, okay?
Mhm.
A few Filipinos who are graduates from our home country, yeah, the Philippines. But they want to take ESL to enhance their English knowledge to be able to take the TOEFL. They'll be more prepared to take the TOEFL. You see? Because they have to do a lot of review, because the way I see it, the Filipinos whom we have educated are lacking knowledge in high vocabulary and academic vocabulary, as well as inaccurate usage of grammar structure.
Okay.
They're very good in speaking, the fluency. You know, when you talk of fluency, for as long as you express your ideas, you don't care if your grammar is wrong. Yeah? But when you take the TOEFL, it should be fluency, for the
Grammatically correct.
fluency and accurate grammar usage.
Okay.
So, and then they need to also harness their writing skills. They might be good in writing, but you see, again, their grammar structure, some of their grammar structure are not accurate, or they have very minimal knowledge of vocabulary. So,
Oh, I'm guilty on that.
they're taking ESL for them to be able to be more prepared in taking the preparation course for TOEFL or Cambridge. Okay? And
So
then
you're saying, Judeline, in New York, it is a requirement, correct? You just said that.
This is it, Manang.
I don't think it's
I have a lot of friends, not a lot, okay, but a few. And not a lot, a few. Okay, my question is this. Enrolling ESL here in America would help their immigration stay here in America?
yeah, but it's not a requirement though. It's up to them
I see.
because as you said, TOEFL is very challenging. The Cambridge or the IELTS are more challenging than TOEFL. So I will tell you also, we have a lot of doctors, medical doctors, went to Kaplan to review for their exams as to be able to be accepted for residency, for research in the hospitals.
Hospitals, okay.
But after Kaplan, they think that it's not enough because there's a certain test, which is the speaking test.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about the profession. The speaking test is about a patient and a doctor communicating with each other, like diagnosis.
Conversation, yeah.
It's not a test of their profession, but a test of their English knowledge, how they speak,
Yes.
the coherence of ideas. That one, they come to us. And I always tell them, but you don't need English already. But they say, the last exam is a speaking exam, and that is not about a test of our profession, but a test of our knowledge in English. Especially.
Speaking skill. Uh-huh.
It's the same thing as the occupational English test. That is an immigration policy of the countries that I have mentioned. And they have the reading, writing, and listening component that is focused on their medical profession. But the speaking test is a test or an assessment of their speaking English proficiency.
A question. Zoni is a private school, correct?
Correct.
Now, you are under the NYED, New York,
Yeah.
NYSED. New York.
Uh-huh.
How about the city? Are you under the city at any time at all?
We are supervised by
Okay.
the New York Education Department,
Uh-huh.
Bureau of Proprietary Schools.
Okay.
So when I say supervision,
Right.
they do inspection, they do accreditation,
Mhm.
and look into our procedures, our everything, all the procedures, and including students, looking into students' enrollment agreement, payment, attendance, all of this.
Right.
So
All of those.
they are supervised by the New York State
But
Education.
not by the city government.
No, New York City, New York Education Department, Bureau of Proprietary Schools is under the federal government.
Correct. I see. I see. The reason I brought it up is I have a friend who is a deputy director for the New York City Youth and Community Development, and he supervises the ESL teachers in, I'm not sure, public schools or those under the city.
Uh-huh.
Have you heard of Nicole Miraflores? He does that work. No, you don't seem to know him.
Yeah, maybe that's under the city government
Yeah,
because they're
city.
talking about
That is
community
correct.
and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. No, you know what? I understand that there's so many ESL schools in the Philippines catering mostly to Koreans and
Yes.
Chinese. What
Yes.
can you say about that?
I'll tell you something. You know, when I went to Cebu, there there are a lot of thriving ESL schools
Correct.
Mm.
Yeah.
owned and managed by either Japanese or Koreans and then Filipino teachers. So they're making a very good
That's true.
business,
That's true.
Good business for them.
and they are
Yes.
staying in what's one of the five-star hotel in Cebu?
Seda? Na?
Oh, there's a five-star hotel in Cebu, in the heart of Cebu. They're staying there. So even if you go up to Baguio, it's also run ESL schools, managed, owned by Koreans and then Filipino teachers. So
Filipino
they're
workers.
money, we don't. Yeah, but they are capitalizing on our human resources. So,
Right. And I am hoping they're paid well because they are earning a lot from them. I experienced one time when I was going home to the Philippines, we had a stopover in Korea. From Korea to Manila, you know who got in on the plane? Korean
yes.
kids. And they were going there because they were going to study English according to them. That was it was the summertime, I believe. So,
Right. Yeah.
okay, so now I wonder if our government even has the initiative to have all those schools, to run those schools in order for the government to earn from these people from outside who come and study, use our excellent ESL program.
Yeah, I don't know if there is such thing as an accreditation or
Oh, I see.
supervision.
I get
I'm
No,
not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure
that
about
I
that.
know there is none.
okay.
That is not under our
DepEd,
test.
Department of Education.
Yes, yeah. It is
Department of
not under
Education.
our, what is the for the college?
Chad.
Huh?
Said,
Chad,
Chad.
right? No, it is not under. But I think it is like a business,
Right.
a business license
So it's
only.
just like a sari-sari
Yeah.
store. You can
Correct.
put up a
Yes.
sari-sari store here and
So
there
it was not. It is not regulated.
No,
by
it's
the
not. It's not.
government.
As long
It's
as you
not
have the
regulated.
money, because now any foreigner can put up a business
Yeah, put up a business.
as long as they meet all the business requirements and all those
Mm-mm.
things.
The
They
Yeah.
money.
have. They have the
I'm
money
telling you,
to.
I have very good feedback from our students who've been there, and they tell me that the teachers are really very good.
Excellent teachers. Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
Mm-mm.
Very
So,
excellent.
Okay, so we have at least right now is 7:45. We still have 3 minutes for our question and answer, and then 10 minutes for our wrap up. And this is a very very we learn a lot. We learn a lot from Mom Evina, and it's very interesting. How do you find it, Tita Josie?
Well, when you mention about those Japanese and Chinese and other foreigners that are, funding these businesses, I don't know why our human resources of teachers could not do something about it. I
Yeah,
mean,
we're
they
going
could.
to Tita Josie. So Tita Manang Evina, Tita Josie, Judilyn, and Pasita, we're going to build our own business back
Well,
home
that is
to
that
have
is a
Filipinos
prospect.
in there, right?
Right, that
Yes.
is a prospect. Why
We
will
can do
why
that.
will we allow them to do that and we work for them in our own country? I mean,
Yeah.
that for me that doesn't jive. I mean, for me
That's
that
true.
doesn't.
I know.
But
It's
I
sad.
think,
Yeah.
I think Manang Evina, haven't you thought of
Putting up a
pursuing this kind of business back home?
Yeah,
yeah.
and inviting the millionaires. I mean, you
yeah,
could
but the thing is, you have to be there to supervise.
Totoo yan.
exactly.
You cannot just delegate it. No matter
No.
how good you hire an administrator, I mean,
Correct.
delegating supervision and administration is
It's
not
not
a good
easy.
thing because
Having a business and you are
I
absent
hear,
in there is
yeah.
not a
You have
good
to be
business.
there. You have to
Mm-mm.
be there.
Right.
The only thing that I would have wanted to do is propose to the government for regulation and accreditation of this type of businesses.
Very good.
So that should be enough. But you see, we are American citizens already, and we cannot involve ourselves to be doing this, not unless we have connections with the
No,
Department of Education or
no,
the
apply for a
government
dual
to
citizenship,
initiate.
Evina.
Oh,
Dual
yeah.
citizenship, Evina, so you
But
can,
think, right.
do it too.
Yeah. Thank you, Manang Ivina. And then I think we have some quotes in there, quotations that we can leave to our listeners for tonight. And I will call Tita Basit. Do
Wait,
you have?
wait a second. Uh, our program is mostly to inspire other teachers. Now, I would like to ask before I give you my quote, I would like
Mhm.
to ask Evina, what advice, Judy, that's your word,
It's
what
fine.
advice or how would you inspire Filipinos who are here already in the US and who might want to
Oh,
be
yeah.
to do, yeah, teach
You
ESL,
might want to
something like that.
teach as
Right, teach
ESL teacher.
ESL.
What can you tell?
What can
What can you advise to them, Manang Ivina?
No, I believe in a continuing education program because we never, as educators, we
We never
never
stop
stop learning
studying. Okay.
because we are educators, so we have to harness our skills, our capabilities, so we are not behind with this kind of generation that we have and all the technology that we have to compete, then we have to really oblige ourselves to always take part in a continuing education
correct?
program. Go to training, workshops,
Mhm.
get hold of that technology. And if it is online teaching, at least you know the basics. You
Uh-huh.
know how to manipulate and navigate, links that can add to your
You
knowledge
have to be good in
skills. Yeah,
technology. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You
Okay.
Okay.
just have to have confidence in yourself that you can always excel.
Right.
I think
And
Exactly.
that's a
also,
very
another
important.
thing, Manang Ivina, we have a lot of friends that they can teach, right? They
Right.
can teach. So it might that if you are interested to teach at Zoni, we have a Filipino administrator in there, Manang Evina Baquiran Torres.
Pwede part-time, Evina?
Pwede
Pwede
po
Yes,
part-time?
part-time.
yes, yes. Part
Yes,
time is
right.
okay.
Tita Josie, pwede ka, kung Friday, punta ka dito sa
New
New
York.
York. Pwede ka na
Oh, it's
part-time.
so easy, just like that.
Right, correct. Okay, so let's go to ng Mampasit.
Okay. All right. Now,
We have 5 minutes
I
left.
think I think this quote is very appropriate for Evina. This is from Ian Brennan, a screenwriter. He said, "Be the hardest working person you know. If you're not, someone else will be." Now, having become a vice president of Zoni, I believe that you have shown us and them how hardworking you are, and then therefore there is no one else who will be more hardworking than you or harder working than you. You have already shown us. You have proven to yourself what you can be.
Wow.
Thank
Thank you. Thank you. Tita Josie.
Okay, mine, I just checked my cellular right here.
It's okay.
You know, it says that you never fail until you stop trying.
You're very good.
I think
Right.
I like
That's
that.
so
And
cool.
yeah,
How
and that
about
is
Manang?
just like what Ms. Evina have said, there's no end in learning. You
Correct.
just have to continue. Yeah.
Correct. Nang Evina, for you?
Yeah, ever since I started, in my grade school, even high school, the Little Prince. I always have this, like
Mm-hmm.
it is only with a heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye.
Yes.
So I always look at when I talk to people, I always dig deeper into their soul, into their heart, what their heart is telling me, and how I feel them. Not not the outside
Yeah.
physical thing, you know. So
Yes,
I've
that's
always
Yes,
true.
I've
that's true.
always have
Yeah.
that in my
Okay. So
mind.
for me, is this knowledge is power. I know that if you are knowledgeable, there is power in you.
Right.
You can influence people. Information is liberating. Education is the premise of progress in every society and in every family.
Good.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope and we hope that we inspire you tonight. And thank you for my Manang Evina Torres and my co-host, these beautiful ladies, Tita Josie Harrison from Las Vegas, Pasita Ross from New York City. Thank you so much for tonight, Manang Evina. We are very grateful to have you tonight. Thank
Yes.
you, guys.
Thank you.
Likewise, thank you so
you.
much for having me.
Oh,
I
yes,
hope to see
thank
you
you.
someday in person. Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Very good.
That's true. After
Bye.
pandemic. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Bye-bye now.